All right, today I'm going to share with you 7 rules that made me so wealthy that I started questioning the very meaning of money. I hope these challenge you as well. So let's get right into it. Number 1 is that you can always act in spite of how you feel. This is a powerful concept because at the end of the day, you are only free in life to the extent of your own self-mastery. So if you cannot make yourself act in spite of how you feel in the moment, in those times in your life when you have low motivation, low energy, low desire, if you cannot act in spite of those feelings, then you are going to have really inconsistent progress towards your goals. This is something I really struggled with for. And if I'm being completely transparent, it's still something I struggle with. Discipline is not a binary, I have it, I don't have it. It's a spectrum to be managed. And sometimes you have less, sometimes you have more. But just recognizing that amateurs sit around waiting until they feel ready, whereas professionals, they just get up and get to work. And so one of the most powerful phrases I tell myself is that the universe doesn't care how you feel, it only cares what you do. And you can act in spite of your emotions. And the people who are able to do that, who are able to regulate their emotions, who are able to process their feelings and feel their feelings and still act in alignment with their long-term goals, they are the ones who end up getting ahead in life. So that's number 1. You can always act in spite of how you feel. Number 2, you must always do the work. This goes back to the idea that the universe doesn't care how you feel, it cares what you do. The universe responds to our actions, to the work that we put in. And the thing is that to get to where you want to be in life, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're a high performer in a W-2, you're an artist, whatever, to get to where you want to be in life, you're going to have to do things that you don't want to do. You don't have to love it, do it anyways. And that is such a powerful concept because I think a lot of people, especially young people, are told, find your passion, pursue the passion. And the truth is that passion is often the result of putting in the time and the energy and the grind. And you develop the passion as a result of your competence. It doesn't start with love, it ends with love. But you have to find a way to fall in love with what the action is that you're doing in the meantime. And so not fixating on where you're going, but fixating on where you are and trying to find enjoyment in that. Because at the end of the day, the person who enjoys walking will walk further than the person who's simply walking to a destination. Number 3, you must never break the promises you make to yourself. I believe self-esteem is the reputation you have with yourself. It's easy to lie to everybody else and present yourself as something that you're not, but you're not fooling the only person that matters, which is yourself. At the end of the day, when you break the promises you make to yourself, you are slowly degrading the reputation, the belief that you have in yourself and the person that you could be. And the journey is already hard enough. You're making it harder by undermining your own opinion of yourself. So when you say, I'm going to go to the gym, when you say, I'm going to write that thing, when you say, I'm going to do this thing, even if it's small and inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, it's imperative that you keep those promises that you make to yourself. They are the most important promises you make. And yet, for most people, they're the easiest ones to break. Just think about this. If you promised your friend that you were going to do a thing, you promised your dad, your mom, that you were going to follow through, then you would do it. But when it comes to you, you let yourself off the hook. And you break that promise because there is no consequence. Nobody's coming to look over your shoulder and yell at you. It has to be you. So you must learn how to be both the master and the slave. All right, number 4, you must never dim your light for fear of blinding others. I believe that you have the potential of greatness in you. I believe you have a seed of greatness in your heart. And the only thing that's stopping that seed from blossoming is you standing in the way of your own light and casting your shadow onto it. To let that seed grow, you just simply need to get out of your own way and let your light shine. But here's the thing, is that as you start to allow your light to shine, it will reinforce and make visible to everybody else in your life their own seed of potential in front of them. And some of them are not ready to get out of their own way. They're not ready to see that seed. They're ready to stay where they are and be complacent in their zone of mediocrity. And by shining your light, you are casting visibility into this thing that they didn't want to acknowledge. And now when they're living their life of complacency, now when they see what you have, they can compare what they have versus what you have, and it makes them feel inadequate. And so they will try to tear you down. This is largely why the people that you surround yourself with is either power or poison. And so you need to be very, very conscious that if you are surrounding yourself, as you start to allow your light to shine, if you're surrounding yourself with people who want to dim your light, then you will start to subconsciously do that. And so it's imperative that you be the lighthouse. You shine bright, but you do not dim yourself, because the world is going to do everything in its power to do that for you. Number 5, you must focus ruthlessly. Focus your attention. It is the most valuable resource on the planet. When the companies, the social media, the people out there in the world, when they succeed in separating you from your focus, then they get paid. They make money off of that. But when you stay focused and when you stay, keeping your concentration on the things that are moving you towards your goals, then you move towards your goals. It is so critical that you learn how to guard and deploy this most valuable of assets, which is your focus. If you can own that and control that and deploy it to the places that you want to when you want to, then you are practically unstoppable. This is way easier said than done. Number 6, you must learn to clearly articulate your thoughts. If you want to get ahead in life, the people who get the furthest, they have a distinct advantage in that they are clear thinkers and they're incredibly clear communicators. The ability to distill your thoughts and communicate it in a concise and precise manner instantly makes you more influential, increases the impact that you can have on the world. So learn first, start by understanding what are the things that you think on different topics. Actually go deep and don't just read headlines. Take the time to read deeply, consume deeply, and then process and write out those thoughts through the act of journaling. Then, once you have that, practice speaking it to the world. Speak your truth, speak your story, start telling those things and learn how to be a better communicator. Because at the end of the day, as Steve Jobs said, the most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. This is because communication is how we coordinate the energies of humans in alignment with our goals. If you can't communicate your dreams and wishes in a way that persuades and influences other people's behaviors, then it's just you out there versus 7 billion humans. That if you have the ability to amass a group of people in alignment with your dreams and goals, and you can mobilize them, you're practically unstoppable. All right, last but not least, you must never not show up. So another way of saying that is you must always show up. There's one of my favorite quotes, which is, I think it was Woody Allen. He says, 80% of success in life is simply showing up. That's it. It's true. And it's true. Like how far you can get ahead of everybody else, whether that's in your W-2, if you're young in school, like just showing up to class, doing the assignment, going and doing the extra credit, showing up on time for the job, whatever, like just showing up is literally 80% of the battle. And if you do that consistently over the span of decades, you're going to get pretty far ahead. And the people who fall behind, they never quite understand why. It's because they're not showing up consistently. And again, this goes back to you must not break the promises you make with yourself. When you are not consistent in your behaviors and showing up, other people lose confidence in you. It erodes your reputation in the same way it erodes your reputation with yourself. And so you must guard this one most important thing, which is to say, you have the ability to consistently show up and do the work. So do it. Don't let yourself off the hook. And if you follow that along with the other 6 rules, laws, lessons learned, you too will get to the point where you will have more money than you need and you will start to question the purpose of wealth at all. See you guys in the next video.